The people who don the stripes are the unsung heroes of wrestling. So today, let's look at the job of being a pro wrestling referee. I'm Mike Quackenbush, and this is Till We Make It. If you are passionate about the craft of professional wrestling and you're never done learning all about it, then you've landed in the exact right place. What are you waiting for? Join the Till We Make It tribe. Subscribe right now. Today's video got put on the back burner for a few weeks, but this very week marks 1 year since the passing of referee Jonathan Barber. And so the time at last felt right. John worked for me for years and years, and he wasn't just a loyal teammate. He was a loyal friend to the end. And this one is dedicated to JB. Over the course of my career, I've amassed a little experience working as a referee. In all, I could only find records of me refereeing about 20 matches. And that doesn't give me enough experience to speak from a position of authority. And yet, I wanted today's video to be filled with tips and with insight for people thinking about becoming a referee, but most of all, for those of you out there already training to do the job. And so, I enlisted the aid of some people out there far more experienced at the job than I am. Some who are still actively working as a referee today, others who retired after years of distinguished service. But all of it sprung from one central idea. That being, what's the most important thing you learned as a referee? And I brought everything I heard together and put it in today's video. Ready? Let's go. Pro wrestling referees are essential to both creating and maintaining the illusion of conflict. And without a ref who can do that job believably, the illusion of conflict crumbles and falls apart instantly. So these first few tips and insights I want to share with you come specifically from that concept, the idea of creating the illusion of conflict within the context of a pro wrestling match. The job of reffing a pro wrestling match is a whole lot more than just counting pins or checking for submission. There are a lot of rules that make up professional wrestling, and they're all important. The referee makes them important, shows that importance to the audience by vocalizing the rules and then enforcing them. And this can be done simply just by explaining them as you go, as you are doing your job as a referee. It can be as simple as, he's made the ropes. You've got until 5 to release that hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Someone seeing pro wrestling for the very first time will understand everything that makes up our universe that much easier thanks to a referee who vocalizes the rules and enforces them. They convey that importance to the audience. And the more easily they understand, the more they're going to appreciate and enjoy the matches we're making. If you're looking for a place to start your tape study in order to broaden your understanding of the full set of rules of professional wrestling, well, start by watching the WWF and NWA referees of the mid-1980s. Practically all of them are sticklers for all of the rules. You'll see them making calls on things which are often overlooked by referees working on television right now. And then switch it up a little bit. Watch current day referees from mixed martial arts, stuff like UFC or Bellator, to get a sense of how to convey a demeanor of authority through taking charge of the match. Expressing your authority as a referee adds a layer of tension that draws the audience deeper into the conflict in a way that a weak referee, someone who fails to assert their authority, simply cannot create. The person enforcing the rules must assert themselves, or the consequences become meaningless. The threat of losing can't become irrelevant, or winning has no meaning whatsoever. Would you leave a like on today's video? It helps the channel to grow. It is an engagement signal to YouTube. And this is me asking for your engagement. Leave the like down below, please. And thank you. The sound of a referee's hand hitting the mat is a quintessential audio cue of professional wrestling. And you do have to hit the mat hard to make a sound big enough to resonate throughout an arena. And working refs will tell those of you out there who are still training, you will wear your arm out refereeing a full match of cards. It's going to be sore the next day. So even when refereeing practice matches, go at the mat full blast. Get your body to acclimate to what that workout is going to be like. Hit the mat hard and announce your calls loudly and clearly to the audience. This is a performative part of the job. It's every bit as critical as knowing what all the rules are, but you've also got to be able to perform the role of a wrestling referee. The job of being a ref comes with a long list of unwritten rules which will vary from promotion to promotion. Just some examples. There are wrestling companies out there that still enforce a 5 count when a wrestler stands on top of the ropes or turnbuckle. And there are others which have discarded this rule. There are companies out there that want their referees to treat every count as if they are legitimate, even countouts down on the floor. And there are other organizations that don't want that at all. And this is why clear communication with your bosses and coworkers is essential to your success as a referee. You need to understand what is expected of you and how that might vary from one company to another. If they want their 3 counts treated as a shoot, then you better be counting shoulders down anytime shoulders really are down, even if you know this is not the prescribed finish of the match. And getting that wrong in some extreme cases could cost you your job. So clear communication is essential here with your bosses and with your coworkers so that you're clear on all details, big or small, that define your role. When chatting with my striped friends and colleagues, no single point was repeated more emphatically than this. Aspiring referees, you must learn how to improvise. Not just because things do go wrong all the time in wrestling matches, but because there will be moments where you're going to be called upon to be more than just serviceable in your role. You'll be expected to perform. You don't want to just be adequate at your job. You want to be outstanding in your job. You want to be the referee that every wrestler on the card requests from the booker. Great wrestlers understand. A good ref can make a match, and a weak ref can break one. The real lesson here is you must learn the skill of improvisation. If a heel is trying to get your attention with some absurd shenanigans, well, of course, you can just ignore what they are doing, but then you really aren't part of the performance. Instead, you want to be able to take that offer from them and fold it right into the work that you are already doing as a referee. It's the fundamental tenet of improv. Yes, and. I get what you're doing, I accept it, and I'm going to use it in my performance too. I'm going to add on to what you have already created. And the easiest way to start to develop this skill is by reffing practice matches. If the wrestling training center you already attend has 20 practice matches every Friday night, ask if you can ref them all. At the end of 1 year, you'll have more than 1,000 matches of referee experience. And an equally fun, if not slightly more challenging way to go about this would be to take improv classes somewhere near you. Chances are there's a comedy theater not all that far away that is offering improv classes right now. I know this because before I recorded this for you today, I Googled the search term improv classes near me, and I found 3 options, all starting in the next 30 days with an average price of $250. In order to assemble today's video for you, I had to call on the experience and wisdom of some talented referees, both past and present. So my thanks to Bryce, Lee, Derek with one R, Derek with two R's, Chris and RJ. Thank you, one and all. Is there something we overlooked that you know aspiring referees need to hear about? Whether it's about training or performing, leave it down below in the comments. Today's video was requested by one of my newest patrons, Dan. And Dan, along with Stefan and Nadim, have recently joined our community over on Patreon. And you can be the next to join. Follow the link down below in the descriptus. You'll get instant access to our private Discord, and you'll unlock over 90 exclusive videos that will never be seen here on the channel. We would love to have you as part of the gang.